Stand for the pledge, please.
Nice.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, March 6th. If you have any questions, comments, or business with this body, come up to one of these microphones, give us your name and address, and tell us what's on your mind. Would you call the roll, please?
Cedar?
Here.
Ellery?
Here.
Kinsfater?
Here.
Kleeman?
Here.
Koopa?
Here.
Laporte?
Here.
McCartney?
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Consent agenda number 4, City Council minutes of February 20th, 2017, regular meeting recommendation approved.
Make a motion, we approve. It's read.
Support. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? School reports administration, Mr. Booth.
One item this evening, Your Honor. The city has listed a 1990, or will be listing a 1990 Dodge pickup for sale. The truck has a 6-cylinder engine with automatic transmission, has an excess of 70,000 miles, and it currently does not run. Minimum bid will be $1,000. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Downey.
Your Honor, as a part of the
Hold on.
council's,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that going to be on the city website? The truck?
It's on the Michigan Bid online auction website.
Do we have a link on the city website to get to that website?
I don't know if we do, but if we don't, I'll add one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if anyone would like information on it, contact City Hall. We have additional info as far as color and whatever else they may want to know.
All right, anybody else? Mr. Downey?
I'm not dinner
Down here.
with Jim.
Your Honor, as a part of the council's packet, Ms. Sturdy has supplied some information concerning a city-owned boathouse well that is currently the subject of 2 leaseholders. And subsequent to an investigation she's conducted, it appears as though one of the leaseholders is not a city resident. And she has summarized her findings in a memo to council. It is the prerogative of city council to cancel the lease if one of the leaseholders does not satisfy the requirements of the ordinance. I think is actually a paper listing here. We have correspondence from the subject leaseholder's attorney dated February 22nd that indicates while he is no longer a resident of the city, he will be on March the 15th. And it's Ms. Sturdy's recommendation that because this leaseholder is not a resident of the city and therefore has run afoul of the city's ordinance, that the lease with respect to him be canceled. And that is for the council's consideration.
I would move to support the recommendations of Ms. Sturdy and her findings.
All right, the motion's been made and supported.
So we're terminating the total lease?
No.
Lease as to the offending leaseholder. There are 2 leaseholders on that property.
So only the non-resident is being removed?
That's correct.
But the non-resident says he's going to be back on the 15th?
That's right.
9 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that come back in front of council when he goes back on? When he relocates?
I moved and supported. Let's vote on it.
We have time for discussion. What's your question, Bill?
When he moves back into the city, does it, and he wants to get back on the lease, does it come back in front of council?
I don't think so on that, does it?
It does not.
Because it's family, right?
Correct.
The explanation that was provided in the packet, if you look at bullet point 4, it kind of explains the history and the summary of what's going on and how long it's taken to straighten it out. So that's why I supported the work that Ms. Sturdy done to fix this lease.
All right, is there any other discussion or questions? Let's call the roll, please.
McCartney?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfater?
No.
Kleeman?
No.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Cedar?
No.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Downey.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Any city departments tonight? Okay, we'll go to D, authorities, boards, commissions, committees. Number 6 is unfinished business. We'll go to number 7, new business, approved local road project. Mr. Booth.
Your Honor, tonight I ask for council's approval to move forward with the 2017 fiber mat project. We've talked about this several times in previous council meetings. If approved, project control engineering from Algonac will move forward with this joint road project. The project will include at least St.Clair and the city of New Baltimore. The engineer's estimated project cost, which was in your packets, is $341,000. $341,217.36. This project would resurface Cass and Trumbull, what I guess I've referred to as the Tuning Fork area by the library and the fire and the post office. Those streets will also resurface Trumbull from 3rd Street to 9th. The project calls for, I just want to point out, 1,500 foot of curb to be replaced. A lot of the curbing in that area is in rough condition. So again, if you give me the approval, I'll contact project engineering, air control engineering. What they'll do is they'll put our bid with New Baltimore's, and then a third municipality, Algonac, may join, or they may not. We'll find that out this week. Feel that with the 3 cities bidding, we should be able to get a lower price on the project.
So you're looking for approval for this?
Just approval to move forward.
I would make
Obviously,
the-
the 341 can change because it's not the price that'll be determined by the bid when they come in.
I'd make the motion to move forward.
Support.
All right, the motion's been made, supporting questions.
I got one question. Why aren't we doing the road in front of the firehouse?
That should probably be concrete, not asphalt.
Okay. Because of the weight of the trucks.
A lot of weight on the fire trucks, yeah.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Chief, we have a rather long list of special events. We're going to take these one at a time. B is the special events permit, Salmon Stakes Fishing Tournament.
Yeah, it's that time of the year again. I have several special events that need to be approved. The first one is the Salmon Stake Fishing Tournament. I am received for approval for a special events permit for the Voyager to hold their annual Salmon Stake Fishing Tournament on Saturday, April the 29th, 2017, at their location. They have also necessary documents and received and are in compliance with the city ordinance. I
Motion to approve.
Support. Ask to approve.
Motion made, supported, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Your Honor, I have to abstain.
All right. Member Laporte abstains from that vote. C is special events permit for the St. Clair Little Parade.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm also in a request for approval for special events for the St. Clair Little League to hold their annual opening day parade on the morning of Saturday, May the 16th. The parade will start at the St. Clair High School and walk on Rattle Run Road to the KFC and then to the backside of the baseball fields. I also asked to recommend approval for this event.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I have a problem with that. Most of it is not within the city limits. So what are we approving it for?
Most of it is in the city. It's just from the bridge to the KFC and then St. Clair County Sheriff Department assists us there.
Actually, from the driveway of the high school
No, south of that. I mean, west of that.
west.
But the St. Clair County Sheriff Department assists us in there, and they take care of the jurisdiction from the other side.
All right, the motion's made, supported. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
May 6th.
We'll go to D, special events, Marble Eye Classic.
Yes, Your Honor, I also have special events for the St. Clair Marble Eye Classic to hold their annual walleye fishing tournament at the St. Clair Boat Harbor, May the 19th through May the 21st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They have also have the necessary documents, and I request the approval for their
Motion to approve. Support.
Support.
All right, any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Special events E, Memorial Day Parade.
Yes, Your Honor, I have an event permit from the American Legion to hold their annual Memorial Day Parade at 1 p.m. on Monday, May the 29th, 2017. They will begin in front of the St. Mary's Church off 6th Street, proceed east on Vine to North Riverside, and then south to the Memorial Park. I also recommend approval for their event.
Motion to approve. Support.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, we'll go to F. St. Mary's Raffle and Silent Auction.
Yes, Your Honor, I also have approval for special events for the St. Mary's School to hold a silent and live auction to raise money for their school. This will be held on April the 29th from 5:30 to 12 a.m. in the school gym. They also have all the necessary documents and in compliance with the city ordinance, and I respectfully
Motion to
request
approve.
approval for their event.
Is there any questions? I have one. Chief, why, I'm just saying, why does St. Mary's School need a permit for this?
Liquor license.
They have a liquor license.
All right.
They've had this for the last couple of years.
That's why we're approving this, because of the license. I'd make a motion to support, or to move to approve it. Yeah.
Motion's been made, supported. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go to G. Temporary outdoor service permit, Voyager Restaurant.
I received a request for approval for special events for the Voyager to host their services during the offshore boat race on July 28th, 29th, and 30th, 2017 on their premises, with the setup starting on the Thursday prior. They also all have the documents, and I respectfully
Make a motion to
compliance
approve.
for their request.
All right, the motion's made, supported. Is there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Eric, and I have to abstain.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Chief.
you. We'll go to H. I have a couple of appointments with your blessings. The Board of Review, Blake Eitner, one-year term expiring December 31st, 2017, and to the DDA, Bill Kaufman, one-year term expiring December
I'd move to
31st,
approve those.
2017.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 8 is claims and accounts, February 24th and March 2nd.
I got a couple questions. Check 43048, 609 heavy equipment. What do you work on, Mike?
43148,
Top of one of the pages, first one.
It looks like it's
Oh.
a vac truck.
check number 43048, okay. I'll have to pull that. I believe their front springs were replaced in the Vector.
We just go through that truck a while back.
Yeah, did not replace front springs.
All right.
So I'll pull that for the next one and bring it and give you a detailed breakdown. But
The other
again, I
one,
believe it's
same-
this.
Same page as 43063, Green Lawn.
Which one?
That's
The
for the
vegetation
boat
control.
harbor. We decided to use them for some of the application this year.
That for applications that's
For,
already happened, or
no, that will be,
maybe?
yeah.
What fund does
Through
that come out
prepay, you
of?
get a little discount. Pardon me?
What fund does that come out of?
Harbor.
Harvard? All right, thank you.
Motion to approve as presented.
Support. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, number 9 is public comment. Do you have anybody tonight who wants to say anything? All right, we'll go to number 10. I have a couple of things. I would certainly like to recognize and convey the city's condolences to the family of Elmer Shirkey, served over 25 years in the St.Clair PD. Our thoughts go out to them. Also, certainly to Ray Scooter's family, 61-some years as a fire department member, served in the Navy, Europe, Pacific. And also, congratulations out to Tim Beaver. Tim Beaver was named Timber Processing Magazine's 2017 Person of the Year. Tim Beaver. Does anybody else have anything?
Upon a newspaper article today, in reflection of the residential areas of where we have to live to run for city council, I think it was uncalled for, and it should have been all of us interviewed on that, just not one or two people. And I make a request that we make an amendment to the charter to bring it up that we must live within and stay within that jurisdiction during the time that we serve.
All right, so I'm gathering by what you're saying that you're in favor of this council taking a good look at this and deciding if we want to move forward to however Mr. Downey directs us to make some sort of change to the charter?
Absolutely.
All right, are most people in that frame of thought, or is there any other dissenting opinions?
We talked about this a couple of times in our last workshop, but I think this is an area of concern as well. There's some other things I think we need to clean up and bring into the 21st century as well. I think there's just probably some language that needs to be looked at and different things in our charter we've uncovered over the years. So it may be time that we have a workshop to look at this and to drill down and find out what the original intent was for the residency and the two reps per ward, and find it out. I mean, nothing against Member Cuffa. I mean, I don't think it was a blatant secret that he was, they was looking for a home and moving. He was living in a ward when he ran. So, but I just think it needs to be tightened up, and one way or the other, whatever council decides, we should make it clear.
How about the rest of everybody here?
I'm in favor of a work session. I think there's other things that we should go through.
Should we have a 6 o'clock work session before the next meeting?
I think that's a good idea.
Bill, did we ever determine what it takes to change the charter?
If we have to, we're going to have to learn on Mr. Downey.
It's got to be a vote of the people, Councilmember Kleeman.
Okay, thank you.
So whatever we present is going to go to the people and have to be voted on.
What the council's role in that is you have to formulate the language of the question that will go on the ballot.
Can we change it through state law?
State law can change the charter. We wouldn't necessarily have to follow suit. It just, any provision of the charter that runs afoul of a state or federal law simply is unenforceable.
Thank you.
Does state law give us the authority to cover this kind of thing in our charter? Or is there something in the state law that says, here's what you have to do?
I'll have to research that.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
I think the answer is that the city probably can put such restrictive language in.
All right, all right.
Is it restrictive language, Jim, or is it just that we're defining what the intent is? I don't want to go off tonight thinking that we're trying to restrict.
Well, restrictive in the sense that it would prevent somebody from moving.
We would be defining the intent of that, of the ward system.
Or running,
So,
or even running.
I mean, that's what I'm kind of looking for your guidance.
Very good.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
One more thing, Your Honor.
Yeah.
On the police report, I already talked to the chief. On this, it's got, traffic stops, 158 on Riverside Avenue, but it's got traffic enforcement, 60. And I asked him, I says, what's this all about? And he said, well, that's ours. I'm asking that we have that wrote down so that we know what those incidences are or ours. He already said that he'd take care of it.
All right.
Rick, can I ask, Chief, how are you finding Riverside's traffic since you've been enforcing? Is it slowing down? Are you noticing?
They've always enforced.
Well, you know what I mean.
So, of course, it's wintertime, so, you don't have the howling and the complaints as much as you do during the summertime. But, with the manpower that I have and what we're doing is we're doing the best we can.
About 158 traffic stops on Riverside Avenue, is that up from your normal? Because
Actually,
you
it's
just
down.
started tracking?
It's down from the last quarter that I
Okay.
reported. Due to the fact when you get wet weather, snow on the roads, people aren't speeding as much.
Would radar enforcement and the traffic stops coincide? You got 384 radar enforcements?
Radar would be speeding tickets.
Okay.
Traffic enforcements could be
Just stops?
Stops.
Warnings? Okay.
Warnings could be strike plates. Taillights could be
Yeah.
all that, yeah.
Thank you.
Hearing nothing else, Your Honor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Thank you, everyone. Going home.
Before the next meeting.